Self-dispatch, pros and cons. Let's talk about that. But before we do, slam that like button. Make sure to share and subscribe. All right, man, let's get into this. Let's start with the cons. One major con for me is that I have a huge loyalty to my owner operators. They put their trust in my hands to help manage their business to success. So here's the problem. Imagine 65 soldiers, man, and everybody's pulling in different directions. And that's when you're gonna have the problem, because you might be good at self-dispatching, but the problem is that everybody else around you is not as good. And now they're undoing everything that you're building. So imagine a guy getting a freight guard or canceling a load, or just not showing up to a load, hoping that that disappears. And now the broker that you were using and have a comfortable relationship is limited and is unable to work with you. That's very real in this market. So how do you preserve that? How do you do that? You have to have one point of contact. You have to have a set standard for everybody to operate with in order to prevent those things from happening. So even imagine, like right now, I get this question all the time as a recruiter. And I got a guy inquiring right now, and he's asking about the self-dispatching. So he's confident. He's confident that he can do what he has to do, but something changed because something got him looking. So what changed? It's obviously in his mind, not him, right? So let's give that up. But what's around him, the loads probably are not accessible anymore. The freight that he had access to is no longer there. What caused that? The cause of that might be everybody's behavior around him, because if everybody around him is allowed to self-dispatch, all it takes is a couple guys running around, burning it up, job hopping and leaving a path of destruction, which alters his reality, and now he's looking for a different environment. All right, man. So that's one major con into allowing guys to self-dispatch. Another one is skills and awareness. All right, that's a major one right there, because Mike tells me all the time his story on how he came up in the business. He had to outsource, and when he was a 1-man, 2-man, 3-man army, he was outsourcing. Why? Because you can't do everything, and he needed the professionalism of a dispatcher who's sitting in front of that screen watching the market, because as a matter of fact, man, the market is so volatile. It changes from hour to hour, from week to week. There's so many changes that if he's just driving blind without really putting in the work, because it takes work. Like, a good dispatcher is going to be studying the market, posting your truck, changing searches from vented to non-vented to this to that, all the tricks of the trade that come with that. Takes time. And if you're allocating your time to driving and being unloaded and making sure managing your hours of service, you can't be in too many places at once, and that's where the problem comes. So there is going to be that time, man, that time that one individual is going to have to decide to come inside, right? Because then no longer would outsourcing be an option. That's exactly what happened to Mike. Once he got to a point that he stepped outside that truck, man, then he took that dispatching responsibility away from the outsource and took it under his belt, and then he was the one dispatching his guys. Because imagine you grow your business to 3-4 trucks. Can you dispatch them effectively and drive at the same time? The likelihood is you'll get by, but is it at premium rates outcome? Are your guys going to be successful? So there's a lot to consider when outsourcing. It's not necessarily a bad thing. Another major topic is, for example, guys are very successful at this in an environment like let's say like a Landstar. But the difference at a Landstar is you're playing in their sandbox. It's a very controlled environment. There's not much to break. You're either play in the sandbox, or they're going to vote you out and they're going to let you get out of that sandbox. But you're not exposed to outside brokers per se. You're not exposed to the freight guards, and the rules of engagement are very much different. You're kind of in like this safe little box that you're only playing with their loads and mixing and matching. So you may excel at that very good, but there's a lot of liabilities that don't exist in that type of environment. Once you're out in, like, let's say the free market, every action that you do counts. It's not just Landstar punishing you. It's you're any kind of bad behavior is going to be recognized and could end in a freight guard and can change the whole game for everybody. All right, so there is pros, man. There's this. If you're good at what you do, and you're good at building those relationships, and you're good at dispatching yourself and getting those great outcomes, then I don't know, is leasing on to a company really the best for you? Because if you do your own thing in your own authority, now you're building on that. You're expanding your company. You're growing, and you're preserving what you're building. You're not allowing another individual to to knock down the bricks that you're building. So that is a pro. If you can do it and you have the capacity and you're great at it, your own authority is a viable option for you. You know what I mean? And then once you start doing that, you're gonna see, hey, a couple of your buddies want to lease on, and now you're gonna have that decision. Can I allow them to run with my authority or not? And book loads for themselves. Because all it takes is one bad action for that to unravel itself. So, and remember, it's preservation. So preservation for the people that are around us, for the other 55 contractors who are taking advantage of a good name, who are taking advantage of a good MC and safety score and longevity of a company. So there's a lot more to it. Again, just sharing. If you share the same like mindset that we do here, and you're looking for a good dispatch team that can grind and put max force effort into making your business successful, because ours is only successful if you are. We only make money if you make money. Please give me a call at 863-342-5171. Always open to hearing from you. You can stop by the office. We have an open door policy. People take advantage of this all the time. Owner operators come in and they meet the dispatch. You can sit out there with them for a little bit and talk shop. Pick their brains, see how they maneuver. You might connect with one dispatcher more than the other. That's okay, man. Personalities matter in this game too. So that's a real thing. But again, here we are, guys. We're located in Lakeland, Florida. My phone number is 863-342-5171. All right, guys, drive safe and take care.